Hi everyone, I just wanted to share what I've learned in Project 9 and more specifically what the learning environment looks like for that sprint and how the lessons are structured, and then what you could expect if you were to do a software engineering bootcamp with TripleTen. Following on from that, I'll just jump in quickly and show you Project 9 and some of the tasks and what I learned for that project. So here I've got the Project 9 sprint, and you can see that it is broken into various lessons. And then also the project here. If we look at lesson 2, this is a theory lesson, so you'd go and read through the lesson for this particular topic, which is on asynchronous operations. And then once you've done that, you'd follow through and you will be taken into this new window which shows sort of simulation of an development environment. So you can update the code here. Here's sort of the tasks of what it is it's asking you to do. There is, you can jump back into the theory and get some hints if you're stuck. Then you can simulate the code. The console will show you any errors. Then once you submit it, it'll check whether you've done the task correctly and will provide some feedback on what you might need to fix. If you've passed that, you can continue on to the next lesson. Here is the final product of the tasks that we worked on with Project 9, and it's really just a simple site where you can update the name, username or user profile, description, picture, and then add various cards here. So in the previous sprint, all of this data was stored locally, but now we're working with the API. So just a really quick example. You can create cards dynamically like that, and it will be saved to the API. If we jump into the code, so I've got Visual Studio shown here, and this project was another round of refactoring, and it was heavily focusing on using class modules and interacting with the API, which is the application programming interface. The main areas I wanted to show you was the API class, and this is the class that handles most of the functions that interact with the API. So these are the calls here. And then the index.js file, which is on this side. And this invokes most of the function calls and adds the event listeners, sets up the elements and communications with all the classes. Here in index.js, we've got the function that will load the initial cards from the API. So previously we had these stored in an array, but now we're retrieving it from the API, and we're instantiating the cards using the card class as well from here. We'll go down, so here are the event listeners, and these are things like adding, so if you want to create a function that'll do something when an event happens, such as a click. And then these are the event handlers, so this is where it calls to the API, so it passes on the data from here into the class and processes it through the API. Just want to quickly show you the constants file. So this is like a utility file where I store most of the variables. I like to keep it in here, keep it all in one place, and so it's easy to update, and I wouldn't have to update it in several areas of the project. So these are class names mainly. One of the key things I learned here was how to work with instantiated class objects. So this is an example of an instantiated class object. This one here too. And then the use of the this keyword, which is what you can see here in the API class. We don't want to use that in the index.js .js file. We want to rather pass the instantiated object to the API. Also, when communicating with the API, the use of the the then, catch, finally functions, statements, and how they're executed based on when we get the response from the API. So I guess there's a lot more that could be covered, but this is just a little peek into what it was like working on this project. And most of this stuff, pretty much all of it, is what you do learn in the lessons, and then doing these tasks for the project really helps to kind of like put all of that into practice. So I'd love to share more. If you're interested, you can just let me know, reach out. Also, for the month of May, TripleTen's offering 30% off their courses. So if you're interested, also let me know and reach out. So I hope this was useful, and thank you for watching.